I have a problem with this. Now, first of all, where's the black dude with the white girl? I have a problem with this. Now, first of all, where's the black dude with the white girl? First of all, we started that, all right? Black dudes had been messing with white girls for a long time, and that's half the reason why you motherfuckers do this in the first place, because we were the ones that kind of abandoned you. I get that. Where's girls for a long time, and that's half the reason why you motherfuckers do this in the first place, because we were the ones that kind of abandoned you. I get that. Where's the black dude with the white girl?
So I wanted to do this video to make general things clear, things I think that are common sense, and people who have bad arguments try to use the advantage, the advantage that I didn't say specifically. Yeah, it's I mean it in general, and so on, to try to argue with me. For example, when black women who still got hope for black men, even though there's no reason to have hope for them, or the black quote-unquote community, when they say not all black men, it's it's just your experience, and when they try to lie that it's just my experience and that I'm the only one and that I'm one of a few black women who have experience with black men, even though we all know it's not true, like, stop lying. That's why I thought I want to do this video. So the first thing, like I said, when I talk very generally, I say black men, I say black women, or I say, maybe when we talk about the topic a bit, when I say white people and so on, it's very it's generalized. And when you talk in general, that means you mean the majority of people. You mean a trait of a group of people, something they do, a behavior they do repeatedly, and that's just not just a single incident they do repeatedly, and it's in the nature of that group of people, then I'm going to generalize. It's that simple, and you know it exactly. It's common sense. But people who try to get on my nerves, no, they don't try to get on my nerves, but who try to delude themselves and somehow try to argue with me, they love to say not all black men, not all white people are racist, not, and so on. And by the way, black women who want to defend black men and want to say, yeah, we need to be a community, we need to, and so on, it's not your task as a woman to try to help that the community stays together, a community that was never there, and a community who's one-sided. You are there to serve black men, and if that's what you want to do, then you can do that. No one's forcing you to not do that. But then I would question your self-love and your intellectual level, in the sense of that you don't see reality what it is, and that doesn't necessarily always have only to do with your intellectual level, but also it's just another proof to me. It's just another proof. Yeah, when you saw my video why black women fight for a community that abuse them, it just proves my point. It's that simple. You know, it's not your task as a black woman. We did enough. We've been playing masculine for centuries, and black men clearly showed us that they are not interested into building anything, into building a system that's going to protect their people, especially the women and children of the community. Black men kill each other like crazy. They don't even date each other when they're gay. There's enough evidence, and with the internet it's even more obvious, and when there are still black women who try to have hope, you can have that. And I cannot help you, especially when you did watch my video about the psychology video, and also I recommended to you different channels that are even that can explain even more to you. Especially for me, it's Cynthia G, because I think she studied psychology even, and she can explain logically the pathology and the dynamics in the black community. And when you want to divest or not, when you want to complete black men when you want to avoid black men completely or not, it's your decision. But just be aware of the reality, because when we cannot get black women even there to see reality for what it is, then it's a hopeless case, then I cannot do anything. And I wanted to say in general, what I do on my channel and what I say, it's based, of course, I only have my perspective most of the time, because I'm in my body, I'm in my brain, I cannot jump into other bodies and brains, and that's my opinion. And I personally think that my opinion is based on logic and is based on truth. And if you don't agree with that, then just don't watch me and go. You can leave your comments, you can leave your opinions, but at the end of the day, you won't convince me otherwise most of the time. When you have good arguments, then I'm going to think about that. But if it's just the same things I've read my whole life, especially since I understood the dynamics, and you try to defend black men, then I would just recommend for you to watch certain videos or to look into yourself and so on. But there's nothing more I can do. I won't, and I don't want to force anybody to have the same opinion as me. At the end of the day, you can do what you want, because it's your life. And I also want to spread the message that life is too short, you only live once, and at the end of the day, you need to be happy, you need to love yourself, and that's my goal, also for black women. And that's actually my main goal, happiness for black women, and that we don't tell stories anymore about how we struggled as single mothers, how we struggled as black women, and we were forced to be strong in constant survival mode. Let's change the narrative, Life is too short to suffer. Life is too beautiful to be a mammy, It's a beautiful day to love yourself. It's a beautiful day to prioritize yourself and live in the moment, because black women suffer from the systems, from the oppressive systems, and also within the community where we receive abuse, a very heavy abuse. And at the end of the day, I want us to be happy, and I think a way to bring black women happiness is liberation, and the liberation we can achieve when you see reality for what it is. When you want to divest, it's great. In my opinion, I think you shouldn't deal with black men in general and be always suspicious, with them. Be careful. Yeah, but at the end of the day, what I do, it doesn't matter, because you got your own brain, it's your life, you got your own personality, and I encourage you to get to know yourself, to go to therapy, and just treat yourself like the queen, like the goddess you are, and how you want to achieve that. If you still want to deal with black men, it's your problem, because you're going to deal with the consequences, not me. But I would also encourage you, since we are a minority group, it depends on where we are. Like for me in Germany, I definitely belong to a minority group, and as a black woman who woke up from the worship, I'm a minority in the minority. As an alternative black girl, I'm again a minority of a minority, and so on, because I just do what I want. I always did that, since I've always been an outcast, no matter where I was. It might be at work, at school, in my family even, I'm an outcast, because I don't care and I do my thing. My life is too short. And yeah, I'm on my self-love journey, and how you want to achieve something. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say with the minority thing. Since we are a minority in some places, you represent your whole group, and I get it. If you don't care, because you're like, yeah, what can I, like, it's not, you don't want to take the whole burden, you're like rebellious against this, and you think like, yeah, but I myself, can I just not do what I want? I get that totally, but me personally, I want to represent myself in a good way always, no matter where I go, even when I feel bad. And see it positive. When you feel bad, and then you force yourself to look good, like put on makeup, or just look good, good in the sense of hygienic, how you call it, hygiene, that you don't look crazy, you know, wherever you go, and that can help you to lighten up your mood as well, even though you felt bad, but you forced yourself to guys, my English, yeah, but you know what I mean. And I think since we are a minority group, at least for me in Germany and the USA, I think white people are still the majority, right? You represent your yeah, like other black women, you know, and I'm so, like, for me it's important for my group of people, for black women, to look good wherever I go, and to carry myself a certain way. That was the sentence. To carry myself in a good way, because when you don't carry yourself in a good way, people gonna notice you don't really appreciate yourself, you know, because you don't carry yourself good. You know, you don't treat yourself good, and people can see it in your appearance. And I don't say care what people think, but I'm just telling you it just is what it is. That is like that. And at the end of the day, I tell you all these things, and you watch my channel and so on, but at the end of the day, you're gonna do what's best for you. And I want to bring black women there at first, because that's the first step to your happiness and self-love. The first step is to see reality for what it is. Then comes the acceptance phase, and then comes, yeah, what am I going to do with me and my life now? You know, and it's in your hands. You know what makes you happy. You are your own person. That's just what I wanted to say. If you don't agree with my content as a black woman and you still got hope for black men, I don't understand why, because we have all the evidence, but still, when you still got hope, still want to deal with black men, that's your problem, because I'm not the one who's going to deal with the consequences of that. It's your thing. You know, it's your life, and you are going to decide what you're going to do with your life. And of course, I'm happy when black women agree with me, because what I put out for black women, of course, I always upload what I think is best for black women. But at the end of the day, you decide for yourself. It's just that simple. And if you don't like my channel, just go. And don't tell me and don't try to get personal and try to tell me that I should start loving myself, and that I should stop the hate. Like, the black male worshipping black women, as well as the Dusties, try so hard to make black women like me, who have a different opinion, or divested black women and so on, they try so hard to make us shut up. Like, why do you care when you want when you have hope for the black community, and you have all your hope in your head? Then make your own channel, you know, make your own channel and spread your opinion, and don't try to tell people what they're gonna do. Like, seriously, I'm a punk. You know, I look like I'm a punk. I always do what I do. And what made you think that I would listen to a stranger on the internet who's trying to tell me, yeah, stop spreading hate and so on? Because I know I'm not spreading hate. You know, I just know myself. I'm on my self-love journey. And you, like, especially people, and there you realize that they manipulate you. People who try to get personal very quickly, and people who make a lot of you sentences and say, like, yeah, you are this, you are that. They manipulate you, because who are you to tell me who I am? Why you say always you? Why are you deflect from yourself? You deflect from who you are, and you always try to tell me who I am. You know, then you realize, manipulators. Yeah. That's just what I wanted to put out in general. Like, have some common sense. When I talk in general, I talk in general because there's a certain trait or behavior of a group of people that appears repeatedly, even can be proved historically. You know, that's common sense, and they know it. But people who have a hard time to accept reality and the truth develop a coping mechanism, and that is called cognitive dissonance, or the trauma bonding Stockholm syndrome, the video I did, that you identify with the people who abuse you and that's where we got the black male identified black male worshipping women. And in order to cope with the amount and intense abuse, because we deal with intense narcissistic abuse, and it's very hard, it's all in order to survive. So I get where it's coming from, and I was a black male worshipper too, and I had low self-esteem too, and I was in narcissistic narcissistic abusive relationships too, and suffer from narcissistic abuse in forms of different relationships I have to people. And when it comes to romantic relationships or situationships, like with all races of men, like with white men, I had someone he was clearly a narcissist, I'm very sure, and also with black males, and in general, I must say, like I said in my other videos, in general, without the man being my boyfriend, I got treated with much more respect, or let's say with respect in general, because from black men you cannot even expect respect. I got treated with respect from white men the most. With black men, only one, and the ones in my family, but that's all. And I won't, and I don't see black men I don't know as my brother. Whatever happens to them, it's not my problem, and that's the thing. But still, you shouldn't be delusional about how the black male family members are only because they are your family members. Like, for me, it's not hard to see people for who they are, since I always been an outcast, and I always did my thing. I'm just like this, I'm a punk, okay? I'm just like this. Yeah, but I don't want to talk too much about me, guys, because at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted to put this out in general, have some common sense, and people who don't want to agree with me and don't even, and yeah, that's also my impression. I also got the impression that people don't even watch my videos until the end and already are triggered and write a comment. or make a dislike button. But yeah, don't even bother dislike buttons, because as long as you interact, it helps my algorithm, and only because on this video I want to focus on black people's psychology and help black women to liberate with themselves. That doesn't mean that I worship or defend white people, or that I ignore that racism exists. Like, what do you think? Of course I know those things, but on this channel I just don't talk like this about that, because in my opinion, the only way black people could liberate themselves is when they have the same interests and see value in each other and work together. But because I'm over that phase, that I believe that the unity of black people in the diaspora could ever happen, it's already a thing. I cannot do anything about this. And because I'd rather live under white supremacy than black dominance, it just is what it is. That's what I don't even talk about racism, because I think there's no other solution than black people unify and black men being men, and compete with other groups of men, and that black men build a system for us that protects black women. But it's even the opposite, and black men are submissive to white people. So for me, there's no solution, no other solution than that. But because I gave up on this, I have my reasons for that. There's just no hope. I do a black women liberation channel because I want to focus on black women's happiness. Only live once. I swear, you only live once. Don't waste your life fighting and being in constant survival mode. Seriously, and for black women to, like I said, to get to their happiness, the first step is to realize in which situation you are, see people for who they are, and I want to bring them out of the black male worship. That's a mental disease, we can even say, the black male worship. I want to bring them out of that hole that's sucking them into a life full of dysfunction, full of distress, full of memeism and Wakandian warrior mindset. I want to bring them out of it, but to do that, it's so difficult. first of all, and second of all, not everybody can be saved because of the psychological reasons I told you, the psychology behind this worship mindset. And that's why I do this Black women liberation video, to bring them out of that. And to do that, I need to expose the Black community, and especially Black men, for who they are, analyze the psychology situation of Black women, that they realize this, and then they have to accept that. Because I still see Black women who realize all the things I say about Black men in the Black community, but they still want to defend Black men. And that shows me you didn't accept that. You didn't really accept or understand what's going on, and then how much danger you are when you still got hope for Black men and worship them like this and defend them. Then you didn't really understand which situation you are, and you didn't really face and acceptance is the key word, reality. And when Black women start to accept the reality for what it is, then you can start your self-love and self-healing journey. I did videos about how you can do that, going to therapy, reflect about your life and yourself, look into your childhood, because we are attracted to situations and people who remind us of our childhood, what we are used to, even though when it's toxic and unhealthy and bad for us, you know? Self-healing, self-love journey. And then when you achieve that, you know, your self-love, and you gain your dignity back and your self-respect, and you got high self-esteem, that is the most important step for you to happiness. You know, that's just actually it, guys. That's just actually it. At the end of the day, you're gonna make your own life decisions. All I want is for Black women to wake up, see reality for what it is, and then they can make decisions that are going to make them happy. That's what I hope for us to do. But if you don't agree, if you don't, you know, it's you know, I cannot force you. It's just that simple. I cannot force you. I just think that I'm telling the truth, and I would never upload something or tell Black women something I think it's bad for them, you know? So guys, I don't want to repeat myself too much. I didn't expect that video to be that long, but it's just like I'm really passionate about it. And by the way, these videos actually help me to improve my English. And yeah, but sometimes when I talk freely like this, like I always talk freely, you know, sometimes I make my notes, but I always talk a lot free. Sometimes it's not that easy, and then I want to switch back to German, you know, because it's just my first language, and then I can express myself more, but whatever. But you get my message, you know, you still get my message. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notification bell. And please comment your thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever. You can always also hit the dislike button if you didn't like it. And please make sure to share this video as well as my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much when you listened to the whole video, because people will need to listen to the whole video before judging me or before commenting something, and they project what they are and what they do onto me because they cannot face reality. I don't know. Anyways, guys, let me stop this video. I talk too much, and yeah, I see you in my next video.